This week, I overtake everybody in one fell swoop. I decide to go for a flying lesson in the desert. And does this guy straighten up his wheels and push me off? You decide. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Gran Turismo weekly race guide here in week 34 of 2022. I said that the wrong way around then. And in the background, you can see we're with Mazda RX-8 at Sardegna Layout B in reverse, which is a good combo to be fair. And this week, you can have some good racing. However, strategy does not exist. So if you're after strategy this week, you ain't getting it. Let's have a look at those race details then. First of all, we're racing 4 laps here at Sardegna Layout B in reverse with the RX-8. It's a good start with a false start check. Make sure you don't jump it. We'll see what I do this week. Comfort soft tyres, Times 1 fuel and tyre wear, and BOP is on and fixed. So you don't have to tune the car in any way, shape or form, but you can design it how you like. Let's jump into... Oh no, actually before we do that, there are timestamps. Maybe you don't want to do race A. Check out those timestamps in the background. But now is the time to jump to the race. Let's have a look then exactly what happens, because I overtake quite a lot of cars. Here we are then at the start. Obviously, everyone in an RX-8. And apologies for the delay with this video this week. Just busy at work. Now, hold that handbrake down. I put traction control on 1. I'm going to jump it this week. Or am I? Because I released it just a tad too early there. And it was on for a very long time, those red lights. So do make sure you don't release it before those red lights go out. Now, as you can see, bad start. There's a silver car going down the middle left. Sloth plops. And we've got Wayne right there as well. It's towards turn 1, 3 wide. Now, this corner, I recommend you don't do 3 wide. So you're going to see me completely back out of this. Let everybody go for that move. And I'm going to go on the inside. And we're going to overtake 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 cars, I think that is. There we go. 6 cars. In fact, it's going to be another one. It's going to be 7 cars in one corner. Happy days with that one. That's what we like. As we head down towards his right hand, I have the Italian on the inside now. For some reason, I recognize the Italian's name. I don't know why, but it must be for good racing, because this is some good racing. It didn't push me out wide. They're heading down to this left-hander. Very hard to do too wide, this, by the way. So I'm on the inside here. They're on the outside. They will have been scared out of their wits that I was sending them to the realms. I didn't. And in fact, they got the better run out the corner. You're about to see the Italian go ahead of me here. Brilliant driving from Tidgney here. A huge shout out to you. Driver of the week easily this week. You are Tidgney. Very well played with that ginormous winged RX-8. It really is absolutely huge as we come into this left-hander then. But we're in with a shot of the lead right now. Really are in with a shot as we lead this corner then. Just clipping the gravel on the outside. Just bring it back on and we'll advance a bit further on then. Tidgney going down the inside of another driver. Once again, a beautiful move there from Tidgney. Easily my driver of the week. That Italian there. Although that other Italian there, Ernesto, doesn't have the best of exits there as we head into this left-hander. And we go a bit deep as well. We leave that corner in 3rd gear. It's a 2nd gear corner. I will explain that in the old lap guide. However, we're going to have a bit side-by-side action here with Ernesto then. Or Ernesto, should I say. As we head up the hill. I love this circuit. It's a really nice complex circuit. Very technical indeed. As we actually get into the lead of this battle then. They just get on the inside, giving me room as well. So shout out to Ernesto here. Brilliant bit of racing there as we lead that corner. Happy days. Job's a good one. And we're going to go at times 500 here as we head towards the last corner then. So the Portuguese driver up ahead, Nebel. Just a bit too tight there on the inside. So I was hoping to get the run as we leave that corner. As you can see, we do get that run then. 3rd gear as I leave that corner did seem to be the better gear. I'm not too sure, but hey, it's worked out very nice for me. What can I say? And so we continue on and up into P4 then we go. Happy days indeed. As we then head towards turn 1. Side by side though, very difficult to do. So I can't really take the line I want to take. I'm in 4th gear at the moment. Really should have been in 3rd. You're about to see that. Here's the car behind. Gets all sorts of oversteer. But I'm not in that power band. You can see they're catching there. So 3rd gear, the gear to be in for turn 1. But we'll go through that on the lap guide, which is now beautiful stuff. So I head towards this turn. The second to last arrows on the right hand side is when I sort to start to brake and really get straight lined for the hard braking here. So as that hits the edge of your screen here, notice I go on hard brakes, get it straight there, drop to 3rd gear. And now I'm going to try and maintain at least 70 miles an hour. You want to be higher than that, but 70 miles an hour in 3rd gear. As you come up to here at the end of the curb here, just lift off a little bit, go through the corner, bounce the car, and I'm going to keep it in third. You can go up to fourth gear, but I keep it in third here on this lap because your braking zone is literally, you hit the limiter here, and the brake zone's there with the gravel and the grass. And I just figured rather than change gear and unsettle the car, I'll keep it in third, then it's not unsettled. I don't have to change gear, I can concentrate on the line. So you go far out to really clip the apex on that second corner, and then head downhill. Notice the little twitch there. You got to be careful with the twitch in this car. Now, there's a there's a fence on the right-hand side. You're braking just before that. If you brake at it, you're going to go a little bit deep here. So brake just before that. Really slow the car down. Second gear as well. You might want to change a little bit earlier than I did here. I just missed the apex. However, second gear allows me to power out that corner all the same as we then head up the hill at times 500 once again. So heading up the hill, on the right-hand side, you've got the red and white barrier. The start of that barrier is where you're going to brake. Now, this is a third gear corner, and the car's going to get unsettled. Notice it's a crest of a hill, so the car's just going to get a little bit oversteery. Just be careful of that as you come into here and really try and balance the car as best you can. Notice I'm balancing it there with the throttle, slowly progressing that throttle all the way to 100%. Get over to the left-hand side then, and on the right side, you've got that brake in the barrier. It's the first part of the orange barrier. You're going to brake here, and again, going downhill, so the weight's going to really shift about in this car. The rear's going to get really light because all the weight's on the front, and you are going to see it oversteer. You can see that a little bit there. Just balance the car as best you can. Don't go full throttle straight away because you will get oversteered like that. I had big moments with that, and saw a lot of people get big moments with that. Just be careful. Now, as you come through here, you want to short shift a little bit here. Get on the inside, allows the car to settle because you've already changed that gear. Over to the left-hand side, just balancing the car, and at the end of the curb, drop. Well, you're going to brake hard, obviously, and you're going to drop to third gear. Now, this corner, very easy to oversteer on exit. So what you want to do here is as you go hard on the brakes, you're going to brake a straight line, come into here, not really do much, slowly bounce the car, and then straighten up your steering. And notice I try and use all the curb there to really make sure the car doesn't oversteer because I'm not putting any steering input in. That is race A in a nutshell. And as you saw, you can have some good races there. Tidgney, superb driving from the Italian there. Absolutely superb. Real big shout out to you. And as I say, my driver of the week this week. That's it for race A then. Let's head to race B where we head to the desert. Welcome to Willow Springs, and of course it is, and we are at Big Willow, which is the best of all the Willow Springs tracks, although it's not actually the greatest track of them all. Now you can see we're in Group 3. We're actually in the BMW M6 GT3. No, we're not in the Endurance, we're in the Sprint model. I nearly picked the Endurance model, but we're in the Sprint model because we're going to be doing TCR liveries in the Sprint model this week. Let's have a look at the race details then. We're racing 6 laps here at Big Willow. It's a rolling start, but no need to worry about that. Racing hard tyres, which is not the greatest. I'd prefer mediums and softs. Times 1 fuel and tyre wear, and the BOP is on the medium setting, which obviously doesn't make a blind bit of difference at the moment. But hopefully with the upcoming updates, that starts to change and really brings the cars closer together. I say I chose the Sprint model because it was top of the leaderboard. Like, why not? I'll just use the Sprint model. Let's jump to the race there, and let's have exactly what happens because there's a fair few visits to Narnia in this one. Here we are then at the start. So the Supra in pole with, we've got Suzuki Vision Gran Turismo car, which you don't see very often. I'd say I'm in the Sprint model for the BMW M6. Now we're going to kick off here. Say we're at the back of the pack and we start on the straight. So happy days. At least the rolling starts aren't too bad at the moment. Just warming up our tyres a teeny bits as we head towards turn 1. I will give you a lap guide here, of course. We won't be using hot air balloons because they're not in practice. So we're going to head towards this right hand then. And already in the distance, Les visits the realm there. So that's numero uno in their spam machine there, the M6 spam machine. As we come through here, JM Power just lets off the throttle there. So I hit the rear of that car, which is not the greatest. As we just speed up through here, there's not much that's happening here as we leave that corner. Right, with this car, you absolutely rev the nuts out of it, I found. So that's what I was doing. And look at the speed we gain on JM Power. Down the inside of the BMW then. They just came across a little bit here and a little bit again. But I'm on the inside. I can't go any more on the inside, mate. As we then hit the braking zone then. And that's another position gained. Happy days. Now, the problem with Group 3 on this circuit is the dirty air. It's very hard to keep up with anybody on this circuit. You've really got to either get an absolute nailed corner, and they don't, or just keep wishing, because you can't really do much else. As you see there, we catch up into this first corner, but already you can see the understeer we have versus that BMW up ahead. We've advanced a bit further on in the lap here, because in the distance you see someone goes to the realm, then Huso goes to the realm and comes back on. I was expecting them to go left, to be honest, straight off, but they didn't. We've got another spinner there, and then in the old distance here, we've got this person who gets sent back to the back of the pack there, and we gain another position. So we gained a few positions there with that incident that happened. We'll look at the bloopers at the end for that one. So once again, behind Huso, we get a better run out of here, and you can see rear revving the nuts out of this thing, get on the inside, and happy days that we're looking to overtake Huso then as we get on the inside for this right-hander. Obviously, people are very scared about being punted off, which is why they get very close to you as you turn in. It's why the German was close last time. Unfortunately for Husa, they send themselves off to the realm there. Another one back to that. I have no idea how many realm entries that is. It's like 5 or 6 or something. I'm not too sure. We catch up to JM Power here, and look at the run we've got here. So I'm thinking, right, okay, let's try and scare them a little bit here. So get close to them. They really outbreak themselves here, looking to try and stay on the circuit. They do. Fair play there, JM Power, keeping that car on the circuit. I thought you were off to the realms, but you weren't, and I just get a massive run because of that. They had to slow the car down so much. Easy mode there on the inside. Happy days. Jobs are good and up to P10. And not too shabby. Obviously, it's a quick race in the grand scheme of it, and in Group 3, it's very hard with that dirty air as well. As we come through here then, I dropped to second gear and go up to third. Reasons unknown to science. I get a lot of oversteer, and yeah, look who else is visiting the realm. Yes, that's right. I'm about to go flying as we hit that sandbank. Whee! Happy days. I was expected to be reset sooner. I wasn't. However, the other resets are behind me, so... Hey, they're not rejects, they're resets. Right, lap guide times. Heading towards turn 1. I was nailing this corner very well, actually. So, it's either the end of the fence or use the camera crane. Or you're going to kill me for that, because I know you told me exactly what that is in the past. But yeah, use the end of the fence there. 4th gear for this corner. Happy days, you will make it through, no problemo. So we're going to head towards this right-hander. Now, you can either lift off early here or go into it and brake slightly like I do. You just brake as you go into the corner. And you look at that really thin radio tower. I think it's a radio tower. I'm not too sure. But as that appears on screen, then put full throttle on. And you should make the corner absolutely fine. You might want to lift a little bit if you get a bit scared, as I do there. I get a little bit scared. And again. But notice how I make the corner fairly easy. Head over to the right-hand side then. And you see where that fence is on the left there? I've highlighted it. As that leaves the screen, as you head over to the right, that's when I brake for this corner. I found it actually really consistent as I was doing this race. I was like, I'll just use it all the time then. So coming into here then, drop to second gear. It was easy to stay in third and just understeer, so I'm second gear here. And you're bouncing the car all the way through this corner. Notice I'm not really doing very much of anything. So over to third gear then, and I'm going to put this curb in the center of the car. And as I leave this, the end of the curb here is when I'm going to brake and drop to second gear. Second gear means no more oversteer, which is kind of nice. Third gear, there's just not enough weight over the rear wheels, which is why it does oversteer. So through here we go, and notice the car just doesn't even bat an eyelid there. So be careful of that crest of the hill. That will force a bit of understeer, so you do keep it tight there. As we come then towards the end of the lap, the Toyota building on the left-hand side, as that hits the edge of your screen, you're going to brake and drop to 4th gear. 4th gear for this corner for you. Nice and easy as well. So 4th gear. There we go. Hit the brakes and rely on the car to just slow down a little bit there. 125 miles an hour. Clip that inside curb if you can. And accelerate through, and that is the end of that. That's also my fastest lap of the race, I believe. We're about to find out. 111, 112. It was 112.5 there. I'm sure 111s are possible with the super aliens who are practicing this all week. You can see sprint model does very well here. You can see that Genesis also up there, and the Suzuki Vision Gran Turismo. Not too shabby, but you can see some DNFs, of course, and some big gaps there from realm entries. That's it for race B then. Not my favorite choice at all. I think race A is far better for racing than race B. Let's see what race C has in store for us. Welcome then to Dragontrail Gardens for race C, and we're doing it in reverse as well, which I kind of like. I love the quadruple apex corner. I think it's amazing in reverse. It really allows you to push the car and really push the limits of the track as well. And you can see we're in the Alfa Romeo 155 in the background. That is the OP car. It's the meta car for this race, so yeah, you can choose it. However, you'll have noticed in the thumbnail, it's not necessarily the only car you can use, because there is a Citroen GT Group 4 car in there as well. Kind of nice, isn't it, really? Let's jump to the race details and let's find out exactly what's happening here then. Racing 12 laps here at Gardens in reverse. It's a rolling start. Again, no need to worry there. Racing hard tyres only. Wow, how imaginative. Tyres 1 fuel and tyres 1 tyre wear. Wow, how imaginative. And the bop is on the medium setting. Again, it doesn't really matter at the moment, but it will in the future. So they were very imaginative with this combo, I've got to be honest. And it does mean that racing is somewhat limited. However, you can have some racing. Let's jump to the race then and let's see exactly what happens. And of course, as always, there's a lap guide for you as well. Here we are then at the start. You can see mostly Alfa Romeos with that Citroen by GT in there as well. Right, here we go then. So we're starting at the back. You see the rolling start, not too bad again. So it's nice that at least these rolling starts aren't plebby as anything. Now, it's quite dark on the circuit at the moment. It does brighten up as you race. And we've got Moo in the background. Hopefully we can move past them and move on up. Time to brake. No, we won't sing. Right, okay, through the right-hander we go then. Nothing much happening here. As we leave that corner, it's time to get racing as we get closer and closer to the Alpha. And I found you short shift this and it works better. So I was short shifting just where the gear indicator was there, where it says 4. Right, heading into here then, we're going to get very close. Oh, a bit of oversteer there for Moo. The backside is move it. I'll stop now, I'll stop. Right, okay, there's a Martini Alfa Romeo off there. So we get on the inside of this driver then, as we give them just enough room there on the exit, just to stay on the old circuit. As we come into here then, slight tap from them from behind. They didn't really mean that, to be honest with you. It was just a mistake, so we're not going to worry about it. We caught it, we carried on racing, and we catch up to these two drivers then. So we're going to go around the outside of Moo here, and we tried anyway, but it's quadruple apex corner. One of my favourite corners in the game. It's one of my favourite corners ever made in terms of Gran Turismo, actually. It's a really cracking corner. But we don't get it done there, so we're going to continue on straight. And I'm going to try my other move here, which is a deep dive into here. So what you do... I did this at a live event as well. I did it a couple of times. I think I did it to one of the Toyota drivers. No, it wasn't. It was a Ford. I'm lying. It was a Ford Mustang. So you literally accelerate through that corner, get on the inside. It forces them out wide. Now, it's a good move to make, but it's a very hard move to pull off because they have to see it. If they do not see it, there's going to be a crash. But to be fair, they have to be aware in a race car. You have to be able to see these things. Now, Moo made a mistake there and flashes the hazards. I'm not too sure why. Excuse me, as I went for a hiccup. But, you know, no worries, mate. We continue on racing. But yeah, with that move, you just got to be careful. Now, I'm going to try it again here. I can't remember exactly what happens here. The move goes off the circuit there. Really has to lift off. Go towards the inside then for this one. In towards the braking zone we go. Do we get the job done? Just on the inside there, Moo still. So I've got to give some room here. Got to go around the outside. Obviously, it's very hard to judge being not on that camber as much as Moo was on the left. Let's go through here. Got to give room again, and fair play to Moo. Getting the job done here in towards the braking zone. We're still side by side. Brilliant racing with Moo. You would be my driver of the week if it wasn't for Tidgney earlier on, because I was expecting carnage in race A, and it was beautiful racing. So fair play to you as well, Moo. Up into P14 we go. We can still see the pack, so you know it's not the end of the world here. Lap 3, and we're still racing on. But is Moo going to go back for the overtake? Not quite. Then in towards the chicane we go, and in towards the left we go. What's going to happen here? Ah, that's it. Muscafi there just gets a penalty, 0.5 penalty. Be careful of cutting that chicane. Now, we know what happens with a penalty, but Muscafi there gets all sorts of oversteer into this corner. I'm trying to get on the inside here, and this is beautiful racing. I have to just back out of this a little bit. They ran me quite tight here. Couldn't really do much about it, and they keep the position for now. I would say that is probably well defended. Running someone tight, though, can cause crashes, but, you know, you've got to be aware in all situations. Muscafi goes off this time. This is much later on in the race. Lap 7 there, and we get the job done. And, oh, Abdullah off to the realms. Abdullah goes as well. Not too good there from Abdullah. So we catch up to a Spaniard now in Luca Berry. And what's going to happen here? So I'm catching with the slipstream here. Down the inside, we're looking. Can't really go for the dive there. It'd be very difficult to do just because of the way the corner is. It's a hairpin, essentially. You're going to have to turn in at some point, and braking any later, you're going deep, and you will force somebody off the circuit. So I don't do that there, as we're going to stay on with this battle then with the Spaniard for P10 at the moment. Wins up ahead in P9. Very hard race to do last to first challenges, I would say, because you're in the thick of the action. You've really got to go for it, and you will get slowed up massively in corners like this. So the Spaniard there just going quite slow through here, and just slows it down beautifully there. Well defended from the Spaniard then as we head up here, but we're going to advance further on. Same corner then. And once again, I'm going to try on the outside this time. Here we go. Look at this. Round the outside. Is it going to work? Not quite this time. You get a good run there through there. But they straighten up the car and force me off the circuit. Was not too happy with that, if I'm honest with you. I'm going to head up to this right-hander all the same. And then they turn in on me there as well. So not really playing fair play, I would say, to be honest with you. You know, and I'm coming through here again. Going for that move then in towards the left. I was not close enough there. And they really cut across. They really tried to defend that by cutting across your nose. But that's how you cause accidents. It really is. Right, lap guide time then. So turn 1, on the right-hand side, you've got the barrier there, which is orange and black, and it broken up as well. Use that as your braking marker. Literally, the start of that, hit the brakes. You should make this corner absolutely fine. So you don't really have to hit the first curb. It's the second curb you really want to hit here to make sure you make that apex. And I stay in third gear. Third gear, I'm not too sure. Second gear gets wheel spin, so you got to be careful. Third gear seemed like the better gear for me. So we're going to head down this straight. And we're going to be looking on the left-hand side. Now, as you see here, the barrier breaks away, and you see it more further back. As the barrier breaks away from the circuit, that is your brake marker. You can see I've just started braking here, so I'm using that as my guide, not at it, just before it. And fourth gear. Now, you go out to come back in, so it's third gear for the rest of this. You don't want to clip the curb like that. You want to be a bit softer on the old curb. The Spaniard's just going a bit slow through there. You do tap the rear of the Spaniard, but it gives them a boost. It doesn't force them off, so you know, it doesn't matter really there. Now, the gantry up above there, that is your brake marker for this. As that leaves the screen at the top, you're going to brake third gear for this one. Now, as I say, you can either attack this and really go for a move or brake a lot. So I'm going to attack this. I really want to go for that move here. Notice the speed difference there that I get. So looking down the inside, and then they just come across again. Should I have known they were going to do that? Yes. Is it my fault? I would argue no, because at the end of the day, if somebody's going to go for that move, you do have to leave a space there. And there was enough room, and I would have made the corner as well. Even so, at the hairpin, he's going to brake at the 100-meter board. And it's going to be a nice and easy braking zone here. Now, I expected the Spaniard to absolutely throw it down the inside, so I stayed towards the left here, just expecting that, as I thought they'd actually go deep, but they don't. And they do make that corner safe and sound. So we continue on racing all the same. As I say, that previous corner, it's a move I've done at live events. You saw it earlier on in this video where I went for the move. You know, people gave space, etc. People saw what was happening with the move. So it could be just inexperience from the Spaniard maybe, or maybe they just sees it as too aggressive. I don't know, but I thought their defense was too aggressive. 100-meter board for the brake marker for the chicane. Don't cut it. If you are going to cut it, you chance of getting a penalty. The second one, you can cut a little bit more, to be honest with you. But second gear into third gear, really clip that curb if you can, and continue on out of that. Now, this next corner, you don't have to brake for. You just lift as that tree hits the edge of your screen. Tree I used also in GT Sport. You just lift a little bit, allow the car to turn in. Once it starts to grip and really turn in, that is when you accelerate. However, the Spaniard up here is going to absolutely slam on the brakes, which really caught me off guard. In fact, I did assume that was actually a bit of a brake check, to be honest with you. I wasn't too sure. I wasn't too happy with it anyway. I started flashing away because I was just like, I could have taken him out there, and that would have been accidental, because you don't brake for that corner. I don't brake for it at all. But even so, we still had a race there all the same. You did see some good racing. And you can see up ahead, you know, the GT by Citroen. I said Citroen by GT earlier, didn't I? GT by Citroen there. That is also up there and had a good race there with Jay Bree. And that was Antonio. Right, let's have a look at some of the bloopers then. The main blooper obviously being Willow Springs. All right, here we go then. Willow Springs, what's happening here? Oh, this is the red car that we saw first of all going off. So what happens here? Switch to third gear. Oh, the third gear oversteer that I was talking about. And what I suffered with when I went to the realms myself. So yes, third gear wheel spin is a thing and an issue on that corner. Right, here we are with Master Benz. You've got to be careful with that name. It's coming up here. Oh, dip their wheel on the inside of that curb. Go for a spin in third gear. Of course they have. Oh yeah, we've got that car over there that absolutely went flying. We're going to have a look at them in a second. A little bit of donut in here from... They really struggled to get back on here, didn't they? Master Benz, my word. Right, who was the car that actually... went to the realms? Oh, here we go. So they got hit by a Genesis to school. Oh, fair play. Hey, look at this for car control. Fair play. They did well to bring this back the way they did. My word, did the school do well until... Oh, imagine having that much car control and then the game's going, nah. But that's it for this week's weekly race guide. I do hope you've enjoyed it this week. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. There's still 50% of you not subscribed, so please do it. Like the video, please. It helps out massively. It costs you nothing. And, you know, it helps the channel out. Why wouldn't you want to do it if you like the video? But there are also 2 videos there if you want to check those out. That is it for me, folks. Au revoir, farewell, and have a good week.